Well, hello there. British justice has been served as disgraced BBC News presenter Huw Edwards has been spared jail after pleading guilty to receiving indecent images of, well, I can't say because of the algorithm. So there we have it. His Majesty's judiciary has decided that Huw Edwards' crime didn't warrant a served custodial sentence due to his personal circumstances, like mental health, etc. Isn't it reassuring to have such a judiciary to ensure the right sentence is meted out for the crime, and that the sentence reflects that crime? I mean, it's not like those terrible people who shared memes on social media who deserved their custodial sentences, their long custodial sentences, is it? No, justice has been done in this case, and we must all accept the verdict and sentence without question, because that is British justice, folks, and it is improper to question the outcome. Otherwise the gaze of Keir Starmer may fall upon you. And Huw Edwards also gets to keep his, I believe, 300 grand a year BBC pension, because there's no morality clause in his contract. So justice has been served, hasn't it? What do you, the viewers, think of this quick update? Two-tier justice in two-tier UK. Well, that's what I seem to think about it. What they're doing is hammering down on a few people that they deem as far right to try and stamp the far right out. That's actually what they're trying to do. But they don't want to stamp out other crimes. Knife crime? No, that's a cultural thing. Shoplifting? Oh, no, the poor must get their food. And this sort of thing with Huw Edwards, that must continue for some weird reason. There's only certain things they're stamping down on, and we should look at what they do, not what they say. Look at what they actually do. And you can see by what they do and the actions they take, the actual laws and the actual actions, and what people like the judiciary and the police do, to see exactly what they're thinking. They're not thinking about stamping out normal crimes. They want to stamp out political crimes of being on the wrong wing. If you're not left of centre or far left of centre, then you are a criminal. And that's what it's coming down to. Anyone else can just do just about what they want. It's called multiculturalism. If it's your culture to do this particular physical crime, then who are we to argue? But you must think left. So that's the way I view it anyway. Good morning, Jeff. Well, yes, depends where you are. I think it's good afternoon back, but thanks very much. Hi, I am Huw Edwards. Oh, yeah. Is that... Where's that come from? All of them are in on the seedy activities. You do get that impression, don't you? You really do get that impression that there's a lot of people out there up to all sorts of shenanigans, and they're all in it, and they're all protecting each other from the repercussions of being caught. And also, I reckon there's a lot of people being politically blackmailed or whatever to make sure that they do the right thing by the blackmailers. There is so much corruption out there. I'm absolutely convinced of it now. Yes, of course, but with Huw Edwards' case, it's completely separate, isn't it? What's this one? Knock, knock, who's there? Huw. Huw. Huw should be going to jail. Well, of course, we can't argue with British justice, can we? I mean, this is the law we're talking about. They mete out the justices they see fit, the great and good, the qualified, the ones with the wigs and the red cloaks and all the rest of it. They're the ones who tell us all what is correct, don't they? And they're the ones that are telling us that this is, that this is fine. His Majesty's judiciary is telling us that this is just almost a minor offence, is what it looks like to me. Would you call it a minor offence? Would you call it something that will deter future offenders? Yeah, Jimmy walked away from 1970 to 2009. Yeah, there seems to be a history of all of this out there, doesn't there? So you just wonder where it's going to finish. How do we stop it? We have to get proper people into the place where they can mete out justice. Yes, cross-eyed bones. Surprise, surprise. Yes, surprise, surprise. Quelle surprise. Yeah, this was signalled well in advance, by the way, because of the way it was presented and the fact that they didn't refer the case up to the Crown Court. So I think the most he could have got was 12 months. But a 6-month suspended sentence? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? And keeping a massive great pension. On top of that, they could have put a special order in place so that they could monitor his internet activity. But they chose not to. They chose not to do that. But British justice has been served. Well, British justice has been served, hasn't it? Pathetic banana republic. Yeah, possibly. Wonder who talked to who. Oh, shouldn't say that, should we? Yes, definitely not with the old boys network, if you get my drift. Yes, well said. That is absolutely right, isn't it? And look at how the BBC, you can't use the word protected, can you? Look how the BBC treated him after it all first came out and kept on paying him because they had no cause not to, they said. There was no legal way to stop it. The whole thing smacks of corruption and collusion and all sorts of stuff, doesn't it? But of course it can't be, because this is true British justice. And British justice has always been held up as the beacon of the law to the world, hasn't it? Yeah, don't listen to conspiracy theorists who come out and say all sorts of things like that. How can they possibly be true? Two-tier... What's this one? Two-tier justice in the two-tier UK. Yeah, it's something like that, isn't it? It just beggars belief that this sort of thing doesn't get... There were indications. I remember listening to the radio this morning, and they were saying that this particular crime is increasing. It's increasing. The levels of these crimes are increasing. So why not send out, just like they do with the far-right rioters, send out massive signals, massive sentences? Why not? If it can work against the far-right rioters, stiff and, draconian and fast policing and sentencing and putting in prison for a long time, why won't it work for anything else? Why won't it? Yes. I hope that's satirical. I love Starmer. I really hope that is. Otherwise, yes. Oh, I see. Hope I get more social credit with these historic posts. I get the idea, yes. Isn't he wonderful? I need my social credit so I can go out and spend my money and buy things like, with carbon in them and alcohol in them and real meat. Actually, this is a very good point, isn't it? Bfield got 5 years in the slammer. It's down to who construes it as less or more, but our blessed court system, our British judiciary, decided that Alex Bfield deserved those, whatever it was, 4 or 5 years? I can't remember the exact amount. He must have deserved them because the British legal system said so. And wasn't the BBC involved somehow in that one as well? Anyway, keyboard prisoners should identify as Huw know what. Yeah, well, anyway, that was just a short update just to tell you what had happened, and it's an interesting verdict, don't you think? So I'll catch up with you all later on, and let's hope we have something better to talk about next time. Thanks very much for watching.